YouTube, what's going on? Welcome to the latest episode of the Silver and Gold Stack Attack. As always, a quick thank you for taking some time out of your day to check out the latest video and for being the best damn community here on YouTube, without a doubt. Now, before I get started, just a quick reminder that our St. Jude auction is coming up this Thursday, November 5th, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time here on this channel. We've got some really amazing stuff to auction off thanks to the incredible generosity of this community. And now, we need some bidders. Come on by and pick up something cool while making the difference in the life of a child fighting cancer. Now, I'll be posting a preview video of all the items on Monday, the 3rd of November, so you can take a look and see what we've got. All right, so moving on. Even with the recent dips in silver and gold, it's still pretty easy to say one thing for sure. Metals are expensive, right? As of the date of today's video, gold is sitting right at $4,000 an ounce. Silver's around $48.60 an ounce, $48.60. And I know a lot of folks are in hold mode, but I know a lot more who are still buying on the regular despite these prices. Hey, at least it's way down from the record highs for both gold and silver we just saw, right? And that recent correction, week and a half ago, 2 weeks, that kind of put everything in stall mode. But when we look at the present numbers, they're holding, and they're solid, and they're likely gearing up for another run by the end of the year or even into early 2026. Now, how much they'll go up or how much they'll drop, it's always a tough call. We know that. So we're just going to go with the flow for now. But all that said, does it still make sense to stack metals in these crazy times? Well, I'm about to give you some solid reasons to think about it. So make sure you stay tuned. So here in 2025, we got both gold and silver presenting some compelling buying opportunities. But as always, your choice really should depend on your risk tolerance and overall investment goals. We know metals can act as a preservation of wealth. We get it. And in some cases, a hedge against inflation. So let's take a quick look at one solid example of, let's say, silver keeping up with the times. So looking at this here, a gallon of gas back in 1964 cost 30 cents, the equivalent of $3.06 here in 2025. Present average U.S. gas price right now is $3.04 a gallon for regular. Unfortunately, that doesn't count for premium. I wish. I'm stuck buying premium for my car, but $3.04, that's your typical average. Now let's look at a 1964 silver Washington quarter. Of course, back in the day, it was 25 cents, right? Melt value today, here in 2025, $8.78 for one quarter. Unbelievable. So that one quarter that bought a gallon of gas back in 1964 can now buy 2 gallons of gas. So not only has silver kept up with it, it's actually surpassed it at its present levels. It's crazy when you think about it. And just how bad has the dollar gotten? Well, since 1964, the dollar's lost 10.42% of its purchasing power, which equates to prices going up by an incredible 942% over the last 61 years. Ouch. And take it a little bit further, since the Federal Reserve was introduced in 1913, well, the dollar's lost 96% of its overall purchasing power. Not good. Not good at all. But if nothing else, we've at least seen that silver is holding its own. It's doing well. It's definitely holding its own as a hedge. It's definitely preserving wealth. So the numbers there, it just proved it to you. You've got everything you need to see right there for silver alone. Now let's look at some factors affecting the positive side of both silver and gold. And this is just a really quick snapshot to kind of get us thinking. First off, the Fed is ordering the printing of dollars at an insane pace. By the way, a common misconception here is that the Fed prints the money, and that just isn't the case, guys. The Fed orders the money. It orders it, and the Bureau of Engraving and Printing does the actual production of the bills. And of course, the U.S. Mint puts out the coinage. Anyway, the insane pace of producing paper money out of thin air, and that's what we're doing, is eventually going to tank the dollar. It might be a ways off. We don't know when or how long we've got. But just as any fiat currency has failed in the past, the dollar is not going to escape this fate. I mean, it's already on borrowed time if you look at how long other fiat currencies in history have lasted. But in this case, this is where metals can shine. They're not going to lose value like the paper dollar. They're just not. And history has proven over the decades that they continue to climb in value and provide holders with a preservation of their wealth. So let's look at some compelling reasons to continue stacking gold, even though it's insanely pricey right now. Here in 2025, gold prices have had an incredible surge. Really, we've all seen it, going up to almost $4,400 an ounce before the recent sell-off that now has it hovering around $4,000 an ounce at present. Now, predictions for next year are calling for $5,000 gold, and that's more than a reasonable goal if present conditions continue. I think that'll happen. And analysts are in favor of gold due to its stability and liquidity, especially during economic volatility. Now, it's a proven safe haven asset. We all know that. And the risk tolerance for gold involves it being ideal for conservative investors who are looking for stability and long-term capital preservation. And lastly, here it is. Gold is expected to maintain that sweet upward trajectory that we've seen here in 2025, with some forecasts having it hitting about 5,000 to maybe even 5,500 by the close of year next year. Could go higher, could go lower, who knows. Now, again, take that with a grain of salt. I'm not predicting these numbers. I'm just passing on what analysts are predicting. So don't run out there and spend your retirement on gold because I'm referring to numbers made by analysts. In the end, we just don't know where it's all going to go. Now, that said, personally, I do think it'll go up. It's going to go forward and go up, just as it has over the years. We've seen it work. Now, let's talk silver outlook real quick. We've also seen some really impressive gains this year, and it went to a record high of a little over $54, which was a total surprise to most of us. Now, $54 doesn't carry as much weight as it did back in 1980 or even 2011, when prices hovered near $50. When you factor inflation in, we really haven't touched silver's all-time high when we do the math, but that's another topic. Anyway, silver is in high demand for industrial and even renewable energy sectors. That's common knowledge. We pretty much know all that. But the above-ground supply isn't as large as it used to be. Now, silver's been operating at a deficit for the last 5 years. The numbers prove it. And unless we start digging up some more, the price of silver will just continue to go up. It could go up anyway because the cost of mining it is going to go up. It's inevitable. Just count on that. So when the cost of mining it goes up, the cost of buying it is going to go even higher. That's business. So while it's more volatile, it does offer higher potential returns over gold. Believe it or not, percentage-wise, silver is beating gold percentage-wise in increases. So that all makes it a lower tier metal for stackers to invest in affordability. Now, analysts are predicting silver could go as high as $55 and up into the 60s during 2026. Who knows? Again, just like with gold, who the heck knows, right? We'll just play the game, wait it out, see what happens. All right, so before I close this video out, let me say this. Yes, metals are expensive, and the price of gold has forced a bunch of stackers to the sidelines to the point where they're not buying. And hey, there's nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing at all. Look, responsible stackers stay within their means and they buy what they can based on their disposable income. They're not going to put themselves in a debt buying metals. Okay, that's just a bad way to go about it. And not all of us can just go to the coin shop and buy an ounce of gold these days. Hey, look, there's nothing wrong with that. Stay smart. Stay within your budget. It's vital. But as far as continuing to buy, personally, I'm still all in. We know that metals are a long hold, and we've just seen where the prices can go here in 2025. And if we've learned anything, we've learned to hold them and not to fold them. We need to be content to just kind of sit back and let that plan that we made for ourselves continue to percolate. Eventually, as we've just seen, it'll be worth the wait. So I'm still buying both in silver and a little bit of gold. Not as much as I'd like, but a little bit here and there, with the belief that metals in the next decade or two, personally, for me in the next decade, will go up. They're going to be higher than what they are now, and that's just the way it's going to be. They're going to continue to climb. Maybe slowly than others would like, but I think they're going to go up. All right. There you have it, guys. So with the elevated prices, have you still been buying? Or have you cut back or just stopped stacking altogether? Do you guys think metals will continue to climb into the next several years, or is a crash on the way? Or both? I do think we'll still see some corrections here and there, but I also believe that metals are gearing up for an increase here at some point. We're going to see a new floor established, and then prices will stabilize. Anyway, be sure to leave a comment down below and let me know what your thoughts are. You guys know I love going through them, so make sure you sound off. And that's going to wrap it up for this episode of the Silver and Gold Stack Attack. And if you made it this far, well, yeah, I'm just as surprised as you are, but kudos to you. I'll definitely catch up with you in the next episode, but in the meantime, yeah, you know what's up.
What do you want to do with your life?
I want to stack.
Damn right, get stacked. Stay safe and be well, everyone, and be sure to catch me and my silver journey this Wednesday, 7 p.m., November 5th, for the St. Jude auction. It's going to be fantastic. We're going to have some fun. We're going to have some laughs. You guys are going to be able to pick up some cool stuff. And when you pick up cool stuff, you're donating to a fantastic cause. So if you need a link, just look under my post. But until then, I am out of here. Peace, folks, and have a fantastic week ahead. Peace.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.